Hello and welcome to our YouTube platform. What does this data say? I am Ajay Prakash. India is drowning in noise, TV debates, rallies, court cases, raids, cabinet reshuffles, scandals, and endless political drama. But beneath all that noise lies a single quiet, cold, calculated movement. A movement nobody wants to talk about. A movement no journalist has dared to map it publicly yet. Today I'm going to talk about that movement. Not the headlines, not the speeches, not the personalities, but the architecture of power, the slow and deliberate steps being taken to move this country inch by inch towards the final goal, the power to change the constitution of India. Today, Narendra Modi and Amit Shah must be two very dejected men. Why? Because Bihar has once again saved our constitution. You might be surprised at this statement. What am I saying? So I'll say to you what Amit Shah often says. Chronology samajhiye. Understand the chronology. So let's begin at the moment when this entire story exploded into the open. The 2024 Lok Sabha election began with one slogan that shook the nation. Ab ki baar 400 par. Everyone understood what that meant, but only one person dared to decode it publicly. That was Arvind Kejriwal. He said openly, if the BJP touches 400 seats, they will change the constitution. That one sentence rewired the entire election. For the first time, voters started seeing the election not as a political contest, but as a constitutional referendum, especially in the Hindi belt, the region that had delivered BJP landslide victories for over a decade. And then came the result. Not 400, not 300, not even a simple majority. The world's most powerful election machine, backed by money, media, narrative, and state power, collapsed at 240 seats for the BJP. Suddenly, Modi and Shah needed Nitish Kumar. They needed Chandrababu Naidu. They needed every ally, every seat, every compromise. The NDA government that emerged was not built on confidence. It was built on the fear of losing power. And that is when the party's political strategy started to change. This defeat did not end the long term plan, it simply changed the method. The surprise was not that BJP needed allies. The real shock was where the BJP lost. The Hindi belt, their most loyal political fortress, turned against them. To a great extent, it was Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan, and lesser extent, it was Bihar, Chhattisgarh, and Madhya Pradesh too, where they lost in terms of vote share. For the first time, the Hindi belt voted strategically, not for any single opposition leader, but against the BJP's 400 seat dream. The voter understood something the political class refused to accept. 400 seats meant a constitution rewritten without resistance. So, state after state in the heart of India, they quietly pushed back. The voters blocked the absolute majority, they blocked two-thirds majority, they blocked the parliamentary route to a constitutional amendment. It was a clear message from the heartland. We will not let you touch the constitution. But the BJP does not give up easily. When the direct path closed, the indirect path opened. Somewhere inside the political machinery, someone, I cannot name who, crafted a new weapon. Not booth capturing, not ballot stuffing, not open violence. This was far more sophisticated. Vote Chori, the silent weapon of the digital age. We all know how it works. Names get added, names get deleted, entire communities find themselves missing from the roll. Fake voters appear, real voters disappear. Rahul Gandhi exposed a part of this operation in Haryana, but Haryana was not the only laboratory. The technique quietly succeeded in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, and parts of Uttar Pradesh. The message from the voters was overruled by manipulation of the voter list. The BJP had discovered something extremely dangerous. If the people won't give you a mandate, you adjust the machinery until the numbers look right. This wasn't done just for one election. This was done for something much bigger because the constitutional mission never changed. Only the route became more innovative. Now we arrive at the heart of this investigation. To understand India's political future, we must understand India's constitutional locks. The framers of the constitution built layers of armor around it. Changing it is not easy. It's not quick, it's not casual. Article 368 of our Constitution is the great gatekeeper. To pass a serious amendment, one that alters the structure, federalism, powers, representation, or institution, the Constitution demands that first, in the Lok Sabha, a majority of the total membership and a majority of two-thirds of the members present and voting in the Rajya Sabha, the same two-thirds majority, and in the states, for amendments that are affecting the federal structure, there is a requirement of ratification by at least 14 out of India's 28 states, not union territories, not nominated members, and not governors, only the states. Three protections against domination. Now let's see where the BJP stands. After 2024, BJP has 240 seats in the Lok Sabha. The NDA together has around 293 seats. That is barely enough to run a government, but nowhere near enough to comfortably pass a constitutional amendment. In the Rajya Sabha, the BJP is even further away from the two-thirds mark. So today the parliamentary route is blocked. But don't be too relaxed. If vote chori and state machinery continue to be perfected and expanded, the 2029 election could look very different. The BJP is already experimenting with ways to bridge that gap, not by winning hearts, but by re engineering the numbers. Which brings us to the route the BJP has been quietly working on for years: state control. Because once the states fall in line, parliament will become a mere rubber stamp and manageable. And that is why so many BJP chief ministers today look spineless. They are not leaders, they are local managers of national projects. They will do anything for Modi and Shah without blinking an eyelid. And this is where the story becomes explosive. The Constitution demands 14 states for ratification of key amendments. Now, here's the real political map, the map that matters much more than any Lok Sabha seat count. Today, the NDA rules 19 states. TV channels scream dominance, BJP spokespersons, including the Prime Minister, boasts of national coverage. Pundits proudly display the saffron map, but that map is deceptive because when you zoom in, you realize that at least 6 of those 19 states are not reliable. These states with leaders who are independent minded, coalition dependent, and unpredictable, or simply unwilling to commit political suicide by supporting a dangerous constitutional amendment. Those six weak links include Bihar, where Nitish Kumar was there, and let's see who comes in now. Andhra Pradesh, Chandrababu Naidu, Maharashtra, coalition fragility, Meghalaya, Nagaland, and Sikkim. Now subtract these six from 19 NDA ruled states. What remains is 13 reliable states as on date. Exactly one state short of the constitutional requirement. So BJP is stuck at 13. The constitution demands 14. This is the real story of Indian politics today. Not the TV shouting machines, not the daily rallies, not the press conferences. BJP needs one more state which is reliable to unlock the gates of Article 368. One state stands between Modi and the power to fundamentally change India. And that brings us to the most dramatic part of this entire story. Now, let me explain why Bihar has suddenly become the most important state in India, far more important than the media will ever admit. Bihar was supposed to be the BJP's big victory, not for development, not for ideology, not for governance, but because Bihar was that 14th state. Bihar was the missing number. Bihar was the constitutional key. The BJP script was simple and clear. Remove Nitish Kumar, install a loyal BJP chief minister, convert Bihar into a guaranteed NDA state, jump from 13 reliable states to 14, and then open the door to constitutional amendments. Remember, the Lok Sabha can always be managed in the next 2029 election. It's the states that were worrying Amit Shah and Modi. Every political twist and turn in Bihar over the last few years fits this blueprint. But the voters of Bihar had other plans. Nitish survived. JDU remained in control. The BJP was pushed into a secondary role in its own alliance. Behind closed doors, the BJP leadership is livid because Bihar has once again done what Bihar has done many times in history, ruined Delhi's political mathematics. As long as Nitish Kumar sits in the chief minister's chair, the BJP's constitutional ambitions remain blocked. Bihar is the roadblock. Bihar is the nightmare. Bihar is the unexpected wall between Modi and history. And when the door closes, what do? You look for another door. So if BJP is unable to manage Bihar, where can it get its 14th state from? There is only one other state on the chessboard that can complete the constitutional circuit, and that is West Bengal. Let me be very clear, Bengal is not about defeating Mamata Banerjee. Bengal is not about ideology. Bengal is not about cultural pride. Bengal is not just about expanding the party. Bengal is about mathematics. Bengal is about that missing 14th state. Bengal is the last missing brick. You capture Bengal, move from 13 to 14, irrespective of what happens in Bihar, you unlock Article 368, rewrite the constitution. This is why West Bengal has become an obsession for the BJP. Look closely at what is happening there. Political polarization, communal tension, the ED CBI raids, the narrative engineering, the constant psychological warfare, the panic messaging, the attempts to break TMC leadership, and the aggressive booth level operations. None of this is random. None of this is just another state election. None of this is only about 2026. This is the constitutional war for Bengal. If Bengal falls, the constitution becomes vulnerable. If Bengal survives, the constitution remains safe. That is the real scale of the battle. Mamata Banerjee understands this. Modi and Shah understand this as well. Delhi's power brokers understand this. The only people who don't fully see it yet are the people of India. And by now, you should also have understood why the statehood of Jammu and Kashmir is not being restored, despite repeated promises by Modi himself and the subtle nudges from the Supreme Court. Because if JNK returns as a full state, it is highly unlikely to vote for Modi and company in the foreseeable future. Restoring its statehood could mean one more non BJP state in that equation, and that makes the 14th state arithmetic even harder. The game therefore becomes more sinister. What we are witnessing in India today is not chaos, it's a method, a methodical, disciplined, quiet movement. Reduce parliament sittings, limit debates, strengthen executive dominance, use voter roll manipulation, capture the states, neutralize regional parties, and inch by inch gather the numbers needed to one day rewrite India. Not through revolution, not through a formal emergency, not through dramatic announcements, but through quiet arithmetic. Step by step, state by state, election by election, defection by defection, amendment by amendment. India is at a turning point because now we know that the real formula, you don't need 400 seats to change India, you only need 14 states, the other seats will fall through. And that is where the real war of the next 5 years will be fought. In Bihar, this time, in Bengal next year, and in every state that stands between raw political ambition and the Constitution of India. This is the story no one is telling, and this is the story India needs to understand. Thank you for watching. I am Ajay Prakash.